How's it going, folks? Robbie, welcome back to the channel, back on Horizon 6 to check out the latest car to drop in the festival playlist, and it is this very rare and unique 89 Volkswagen Rallye Golf, a car that I literally did not know existed. Probably saw it on the tally back in the day, but I just completely forgot about it. So it was built, there's 5,000 of these roughly made. They're made for homologation reasons so Volkswagen can join Group A Rally all-wheel drive system, which is obviously quite rare at the time for Volkswagen. It's got a supercharged 1.8 litre engine, doesn't produce a lot of power. It is quite light, as you can see. It's just under 1,200 kilos. I'll look up more information later, so I don't know how successful it was. I don't remember winning championships, obviously. Obviously around that time Lancia was still dominating with the Delta. But yeah, it's got a wide body kit, all-wheel drive, so it's a very unique looking car. But before we go, I'm going to take it rallying today to see what it's like. But first of all, let's see what it's like down the drag strip. It is all-wheel drive, but like we saw before, it doesn't have a ton of power. Based off the Mark II body, let's slot into the grid and let's get going. First gear, make sure in first gear. Never taken off in reverse. That'd be silly. It's done that a couple of times. All right, let's go. Not very quick. Got a good launch, obviously. All-wheel drive. The car is tiny, short wheelbase, so it should be good for rallying. Down here, it needs some help. Going to get under 15 seconds. No, just over 15.1. Yeah, that's... I mean, for 1989, like current era, that's pretty bad. But for 1989... for a car this small, that's pretty quick. There's muscle cars back then doing similar times. So that's not that bad at all. Current era, little electric bikes can probably do that. All right, so let's go upgrade it. So like I said, we're going to take it rallying. I've built a rally track, which I'll show off in a second. I'll put the share code down below if you want to check it out. Look, we got some amazing rally events in the last Horizon 5 DLC, which is the rally adventure. We had the spotters talking and telling us what corners are coming up. It was the best rally experience ever. And then the rally in this game is pretty crap. They've just gotten rid of all of that. More than likely to come back as a future DLC. Why they didn't just bring it in, or even just, you know what I really love for if they brought back this, if you remember the Horizon DLC we got last game, where we had the spotters telling us and talking to us what corner's coming up, hard left, hard, whatever. If we could bring that system into the events we make in Event Lab, be absolutely awesome. To my opinion, the rally in this game, as good as this map is, the rally stages are just, they've kind of missed the mark a little bit. I honestly thought once we got the Horizon Rally DLC adventure thing, that was going to be the standard going forward. Oh, how innocent I was. So yeah, I've made my own track, which is a little bit more challenging. All right, so let's get building. It looks really weird seeing a wide body kit and the wider arches on a Golf. All right, so we're not going to bother engine swaps. We'll just have a look and see what we got. 2 litre, 1.6, the usual jumpy crap. So this car is naturally supercharged already, 158 horsepower. Like I said, it is very light, tiny wheelbase, so it's going to be very agile. I'm not going to do any engine swaps or anything like that. We're going to keep it completely standard. I'm assuming body kit options will be the usual shites. Yep. And the little wing on the back, mud flaps, yep, and bonnet options. Oh, there we go. That's different. It kind of gives it like a Lancia look. There you go. We'll keep it off though. Wheels, let's chuck on some rally tires because we're going to be in the dirt pretty much all the time. I'm going to widen tires just for the hell of it. Usually I find that wider tires give it more grip, and we'll widen the track a little bit more. And I'll change the wheels just purely for aesthetic. That'll do. Now it looks like a little track car. Already all-wheel drive, so we don't have to worry about that. So I'm not going to be building this up to a PI scale at the moment. It might more than likely get to the top of B class, but I'm just throwing on the parts that I need to put on to adjust things and tune it a little bit. I drove this around a little bit off screen. And even though it is all-wheel drive with the stock tires in the dirt, it does slide around quite a bit, especially when it's raining. So I definitely recommend you upgrade the wheels as soon as you can, especially if you're driving off-road. I'm not going to take the weight off. I just want to see how much you can get down to. All right, once you take off exhaust and a few parts, you're getting well under 1,000 kilos. So That is a very light, agile car. I'll just take off the top one for now. Let's see what power we can put into this thing. Wouldn't it be nice if we can actually change the look of the exhaust, Playground Games? I reckon if we can get it around 200 horsepower, top of B class, can we squeeze in enough? 185. What did that put on? 10. Okay. I don't think we're going to make it. All right, we're just over. Let's just get it to the top of B class as good as we can. All right, 601. We can balance that out by doing that. Just increase the rear tires by an inch, and that usually bumps you down to PI. I mean, you could put the rally, not rally, you could put the... Did I just... Hang on, I'm so used to building road cars. I did put the rate, you stupid moron. I'm so used to making road cars. All right, that is better. I was going to say, it didn't look like it was sitting right for a rally car. It looked a little bit too low. That was going to bottom out on everything. So... Actually, let's go drive it as it is with the basic Forza tune, and then I'll tinker with it. Let's go show you off the event that I built myself. Took about 2 hours to build. Oh, just quickly, I've just spent like $10 million buying cars and other things. Just quickly, a nice little tip for new drivers. Let's get back into the showroom. I've heard a lot of people complaining about, how you get all the clothes and all the friggin' horns in the wheel spins. Nice way to get rid of it. You go over to your character. It takes a while, costs a little bit of money up front. So you customize your character. So all your clothes, I've bought everything that's available to be bought. I've gone through individually and purchased everything. And then that removes pretty much everything except for all the higher end purple and legendary clothes. Legendary clothes. This is where we are in a Forza game now. And if you go through and also buy all your car horns, that removes so much stuff from your wheel spins, so you're pretty much just going to get cars and money, and it just makes it a lot better later on in the game because you know what you're going to get. Now, when I get a wheel spin, it's super rare to get anything other than a car. Another Golf. Awesome. And go join your cousin in the garage. All right, let's get started. It's about 2.5 to 3 minutes long, depending on what car you're driving. Couple of miles long. Let's get going. As you can see, it's quite narrow. Work way through the fields. There is a bug. Hang on, let me just go into photo mode. Just quickly, right about here, you can see the checkpoint on the way around. We go around there, loop around and come back around here through the farms. But because you're so close to this checkpoint, it will trigger just for a second and saying you missed the checkpoint. Just ignore it and keep going. You're fine. It's just, it's because I built it too close to the checkpoint. There we go. And once you get up here, it vanishes. It is quite narrow, this track. I don't know how you'd manage to go driving this thing with a really fast S1 or S2 class truck. Oh my God, off to a really, really good start today. All right, let's try and keep this going. Down here across the little bridge I made, nice and smooth. Again, this track is all about handling. Bit of acceleration is essential. Brakes are really going to get a workout, and your handbrakes really going to get stretched out as well. Got some chicanes here as we work our way. There's not many really easy corners in this track, which is what I like. It's quite tight and technical. It is all over the place as we wind our way through the fields. It's a pretty good little fun track. I enjoy it. There's the odd little jump here every now and then. Not excessively hard to do, but just something to break up the straight parts. A lot of little hairpins as well, as you can see. It's really going to suit a lower class, agile, little smaller car like a little hatchback you see on screen. Oh, that's a wall. Who built that there and put that there? Absolute moron. Let's do that again. Already just looking how this car's driving so far, it doesn't feel like it's all drive. It feels like the diff needs an overhaul. It feels like too much of the power is going towards the front. I need to adjust the center diff. Get the power rotating a little bit towards the rear because it doesn't quite feel like I'm getting the front. I'm getting a little bit of understeer. It's a really strange feeling for an all-wheel drive car. So we're going to fix the diff as pretty much for rally. It's one of the first things you should do anyway. It is quite light and agile, so I'll give it that. The gearbox obviously needs an overhaul. We're not going up to maximum speed, so we can lower the ratios down and make this into a proper little rally car. Jesus Christ, I'm driving bad today. I apologize, but this is just a warm-up event just to see what the car is like around here. We're about the halfway marker now. Up a little chicane, a little bit narrow on the exit, but it's all part of the challenge. And again, we've got a little section up here. Geez, stop hitting the walls, you moron. I'm the one who put these things down and I'm hitting them. I want to blame the car, but it's my driving today. Yeah, another little jump here. As we work our way down, we do loop in and around the rail bridge quite a bit. This one is a bit of a tricky corner. You can't carry too much speed because of that concrete barrier on the exit. Again, I like it. It's just a bit of a challenge. Get the handbrake out, get this thing rotating again. Diff really needs to work on this car. Really, really bad. And we'll go over the settings later on. This is the default Forza tune, and it is pretty poor. Pretty poor indeed. Needs a lot of work done to it. I am no expert, especially at rally, but I think just basic tuning will improve this considerably. The car just needs to rotate better. The diff's got to put the power down better. Gearbox needs to be shrunken down considerably. And of course some anti-roll bar adjustments to get the car to rotate better through these tighter corners. Again, I'll put the rally tyres on, but I think a track like this, which is pretty much all on dirt, would probably be better suited to off-road tyres, because obviously you get better grip with the off-road tyres. A little bit of a jiggle through there. We're almost at the end. Originally this was going to be a circuit. We can just do laps, but for some reason the game bugged out and would not allow me to make circuits. No matter how many times I readjusted the line of the track where it went, it would not let me connect it back to the start line, so it turned into a sprint race. Oh my god, I just put into first gear. I put on my learner's plate. I've forgotten how to damn drive today. And across the line. Through the fence. There we go. Graceful finish. All right, so now we're going to adjust the tune a little bit. Let's see what we can do. 346. That was a pretty bad drive. We could knock off a good 20, 30 seconds there pretty comfortably, I think, if we get it about right. Let's go and see if we can make this car a little bit better than it is typically. The whole car's clean except for the back bumper. That makes sense. All right, we've been off-roading. All right, let's go see what we can do. We're going to adjust the tire pressure. We're going to lower those down because I imagine they're going to be too high. Shut up, Anna. All right, so let's quickly go over just some of the settings I've changed. I lowered the PI a little bit, not too much, but typically you want it a little bit lower for rally. Gearing, I've shrunk that down considerably. Hopefully that's enough. We don't need top end speed. All we need is power. Alignment, I've adjusted that slightly. The front caster was up to 6.5 degrees, dropped it to about 6. We'll see how we go. Camber, -1 and -0.5. Toe in and out, I don't really change on most of my car builds. Anti-roll bars, I softened. They were quite a bit stiffer. Softer usually, helpfully sometimes rotates the car a bit better. For rally build, ride height, always at the highest. You want the ground clearance, especially with the jumps. Springs were a bit soft, so I've stiffened them up just a little bit. The rears were. Yeah, that got soft, not quite stiff compared to what I'd like. Aero I don't have. Brakes, left them 50-50. The braking pressure I increased a fraction. Now the diff, I've already done all of it, but the center balance I left standard just to show you. This is why it felt like a front-wheel drive car as I was driving. The default setting had me all the way that way. We don't want that. We want it facing towards the rear. So around 60 to 70% normally for the basic start. So we'll go halfway of what I just said. There's no point having all drive if all the power's going towards the front wheel. It's just producing a ton of understeer and it just completely stuffs you around. So let's go try that again. Hopefully these improvements have made it a little bit more drivable, because the first time around, granted I wasn't driving that well, but it was pretty crap. All right, take two. With the Rallye Golf, let's see if we've made the car any better. Initially, it accelerates a lot better than it did last time around. It's rotating much better. Let's get the gearbox. You can definitely feel the gearbox has been shrunken down. This thing is accelerating. I've got to say already, it feels like it's all drive now. Don't know why the default settings had it going all the way to the front. That just makes absolutely no sense. It defeats the purpose of having all drive. Now it actually rotates and drifts around the corners. Little bit of handbrake. We're getting it around there. Obviously, with a few more trial runs, we'll be able to get much better times around here. But so far, this is massive improvement. I did jokingly say, like, I'll save 20, 30 seconds. I think that's quite possible. This is a completely new car. This feels really, really good. We'll see how we go with this. I might run it on a regular dirt track in Rivals just to see what it's like, because obviously you can't compare against every other or all the other locations you race against in Dirt Rally Series, because this is unlike anything Playground Games has made. As we make our way over the jump, probably could have kept that in third gear. Oh, a little bit jumpy there off on the landing. We've got a little bit of chicane. It should rotate a lot better. It's a lot faster than it was last time around, so that's kind of throwing me off as well. And handled the jump on that one a bit better. A little bit of a handbrake corner. There we go. All right, no longer is this feeling like all-wheel drive. My brain, no longer, it feels like an all-wheel drive car. That corner the last time around when it felt like a front-wheel drive car really did struggle. Oh God, it's I should have swapped it to off-road tires. It is still a little bit slidey. For some reason, I set it at the maximum rain. It'd be nice if these settings, if you can have two at the same time, like have it raining quite heavily like this, but also have a little bit more fog as well. That'd be pretty cool. But yeah, we can't do two weather options at the same time. All right, let's get it around this corner as well. Slowly making our way through the track, 60% of the way through. Got another jump coming before we got a really tricky little chicane. Going to have to be aware of this one, considering the car's a lot faster. It is a lot more agile, as you can see, but we're carrying a lot more speed because we're moving quicker, and this car actually will let me drive it fast. Finally, that first one is horrible. This is completely different. I had no idea this car existed until I saw it in the playlist. Obviously, back in the day, we didn't have internet, and in the house, we only had one TV, so you didn't always get to watch TV and racing programs, especially when Dad was home, because it was his TV. Yeah, it was a lot harder. Couldn't always get car magazines, so it was pretty hard to find a lot of these cars that existed, especially one that only made 5,000 or so versions of it. I don't even remember seeing these things on the rally stages. I used to watch a bit of rally back in the day when I was little, when I could, but I never saw these ones. I saw the other famous ones, but no idea how long these race for, so I'll have to do some research. More than the 2 minutes I did prior to this one. As we work our way up through the last little chicane here, we're almost at the end. This has improved considerably. So yeah, I'm definitely going to go do another one of the Horizon Rally events with this car. This one's a little bit sketchy, but it's good fun. It's something different. It's a little bit more challenging. And the back end's a little bit more puckered up because you really got to concentrate as we work our way around the corner, through the car park, badly, and through the fence, wiping sweat off the brow. Didn't shave as much time as I thought I would, but after a few proper clean runs, I'll be able to get more time off. I was still a bit rusty there. So we're at the Sakibi Scramble Rally event. We've got B class. My fastest time around here is the little Mini Cooper, which I've just loaded up, which is a top 400 in the world time. So we're going to see how this one compares against that one. Obviously the Mini's a bit smaller and a little bit lighter. So we'll see how we go. My little Mini, which I didn't build, that's someone else's tune. I am not an expert. I'm getting a bit better doing road cars, but rally and cross country, not so much. Still fairly new at building cars to that. I've always just downloaded them like so many of us do. But I'll slowly start to learn and figure it out. Well, that's a bit of a rough entry. After driving around in the wet for a little while, coming to the dry, you've got to realize you've got a little bit more grip and you can carry more speed. Don't roll the damn car. All right, that little Mini is an absolute rocket around here. I think it's like 365 in the world, I think it was. Little tap on the handbrake to try and rotate the car. Usually kind of gets a good way to get some speed through these corners. All right, gearbox is fine. We'll find out on the straight if I need to adjust the gearbox, but through the corners it feels really good, nice and punchy. It dies a little bit going into the 6. I don't think it's going to keep up with the Mini. Nah, look at it. That little thing, just absolute rocket. If I get within about 5 seconds of it, I'll be pretty happy. Already it can just carry the speed so much quicker. This car, as we saw, is pretty light, but compared to a little Mini Cooper, it's an absolute tank. This is like a Hummer compared to that little red rocket in front, but it still feels really good. It's rotating through the corners. For some reason, the bumper just gets incredibly dirty compared to the rest of the car. It's like dirt just can't go past that level of the car, which if anyone's done any off-road driving knows that's crap. Granted, it will stay a little bit dirty down below, but the roof's getting dirty for starters. All right, we're doing okay. Look, I'm overall happy with it, but at the current build it's at, it's no way it's going to compete. So not going to be beating my little mini time anytime soon, even if I get the perfect lap with it. We're going to have to completely redesign the build. I mean, it's fun to drive around, but yeah, it's not going to be a top of leaderboard car anytime soon. Not even going to attempt to figure out where that would have come on the leaderboard. So what did we end up doing? A 105, which is about 6 seconds slower. So yeah, that's well and truly out of the top 1,000. But anyway, that is it. I'm not going to be getting that car in the top 1,000 anytime soon. Not without a completely overhaul in the build. I'm fairly happy with the tune. But yeah, the build needs some work. Probably drop out a little bit more weight. I don't know. I am no expert because you might fiddle around with engine swaps to get different PO ratings to get more power in, but I'm not even going to beat the RS200. But anyway, that is the Rallye Golf. It's a cool little car. It's good to learn about something different, and it's something we haven't had before. It's a little bit of fun. I think I'll drive it around a little bit. Might convert it into an actual road car because I don't do rally that much because the rally in this game is not as fun as it was in the previous DLC. But anyway, I'm Rob. Cheers for watching. See you in the next one.